High school football is back on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Tonight from Royerton, Hoosier Heritage Conference football as Pendleton Heights takes on Delta. Good evening. Hello again, everyone. Brian Beaver along with you again tonight. Week 7, homecoming weekend for Delta here in northeastern Delaware County. A fantastic night for football. Mostly clear, a few clouds, no threat of any rain right now, and a couple of pretty good football teams getting ready to knock heads with one another in about 15 minutes from now. Pendleton Heights comes in at 4-2 overall, 2-2 in the league. The Arabians started with 4 straight wins, but have lost consecutive games to New Palestine and Mount Vernon to fall into the middle of the pack in the league race. Delta has had a fantastic first 2/3 of the regular season. Chris Overholt's ball club won their opener over Muncie Central. Their only blemish, a week 2 loss on the road at Eastbrook. 4 straight wins since then, including an 84-point gully washer against Shelbyville on the final day of August. And, of course, last week, a 49-14 victory over Newcastle down in Henry County. So the Eagles are 5-1, 4-0 in the league, and they haven't had a 5-game winning streak here at Delta since the 2015 season, Grant Zagunda's final season as the football coach here at Delta High School. Couple of high-scoring offenses featured in this game. Delta comes in averaging 44.5 points a game. That is in the top 20 in the state in all classes in scoring. The Eagles are going to face a Pendleton Heights defense that has allowed 21 points and change a game. So there's a 23-point gap between what Pendleton gives up defensively and what Delta has scored so far this season. You flip the page to the Arabians of Pendleton Heights, Jed Richmond's team, also high scoring, not quite as high as Delta, but the Arabians have averaged 36 points a game, and they're giving up that difference we talked about earlier. They're going to face a Delta defense that's allowing just under 16 points a game. So there's a 20-point gap between the Pendleton offense and the Delta defense, and a 23-point gap per game between the Delta offense and the Arabian defense. Going to be interesting to see which end of the scale wins out here in this one tonight. Couple of pretty good quarterbacks in this one as well. Christian Conkling at Pendleton Heights is your prototypical quarterback, 6'4", 215, a senior, good thrower. He's completing 58% of his passes for the season, and he has thrown 14 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions, and he has a couple of outstanding receivers in Eli Pankel and Anakin Allison. Both of them are seniors. Allison leads the Arabians in both catches and receiving yards, 5 touchdown receptions, and Pankel leads in TD catches with 6, and he's right behind Allison with 18 catches and 338 receiving yards. So they're getting the better part of 19 yards a throw when Pendleton Heights throws to either Pankel or Allison. And when you watch them on video, they might be better in run after catch than catch. Once they've got the ball in their hands, they're really tough to get down. Delta's defense will have to find a way to neutralize that part of Jed Richmond's offensive attack in this one tonight if they're going to win their 5th straight football game. The defenses feature some really good linebacker play. If you're a Delta fan, you already know about Brady Pease and Mason Hunt. Pease broke the career tackles record a couple weeks ago here at Delta. That is not easy to do. It's a 4-year starter. Comes in leading the squad with 63 tackles, 23 solos, 5 for a loss. Mason Hunt, who's been his linebacker buddy for seemingly forever, starting in youth football, 61 tackles, 27 solos. That's the best on the team. 9.5 for a loss, sack and a half, and a pick 6 interception touchdown for Mason Hunt He's averaging 10.2 tackles a game. Pease 10.5. So you got a couple guys in the middle of that Delta defense who are on pace to have 100 tackle seasons. And that is not easy. Usually if you've got one of those a year, you're doing pretty well. Delta has 2 of them. So watch out for that. One of the other factors is that Conkling, the starting quarterback for Pendleton Heights, has only thrown 2 picks, but Delta has 7 interceptions on the season as a defensive unit, 3 pick sixes. Hunts, 1 for Tyler Gilland, 1 by Wesley Wooden. So they are ball hawks, especially Gilland, who leads the team with 3 INTs through the first 2/3 of this regular season. It'll be interesting to see, number one, can they pressure Conkling tonight? And if so, can they get him to throw one to the guys in the Delta colored jerseys? Quarterback play has been very good for Delta through a 5-1 start. Their sophomore quarterback, Brady Hunt, completing 57% of his throws. He's 6'5", 190 and a sophomore. He's 58 yards from 1,000 for the season, averaging about 17.5 yards a completion, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the season for Brady Hunt. Delta will be without one of its best 2-way players again tonight. Wesley Stitt is injured, will not play, may play next week against Greenfield Central. He missed last week's game at Newcastle. He'll miss another one tonight here on homecoming night. I saw him in street clothes earlier, so hopefully he'll get well and get back on the field where they want him here up in Northeast Delaware County. Big week coming up next week in the Hoosier Heritage Conference as well. We mentioned Delta. They'll be on the road at Greenfield Central. It's going to be, or they'll be here perhaps. They'll be here at home, Delta will, with Greenfield Central. New Pal at Newcastle next weekend. Shelbyville at Mount Vernon. Yorktown at Pendleton Heights a week from tonight. And the state tournament draw is pounding on the door as well. Everyone's going to find out who they'll play in the postseason very soon. And while we're talking about state tournament draws, the volleyball state tournament draw is Sunday, 2 days from now. Delaware County tournament tomorrow will be in the semifinal and championship round. 11 o'clock in the morning, Yorktown will play Cowan. Right after that, it'll be Delta facing Wapahani. And the champions return to Wapahani High School tomorrow night to play for another Delaware County tournament volleyball championship. That should be a lot of fun to watch tomorrow. Yorktown is ranked number 1 in 4A and number 1 overall in Indiana right now, and they are undefeated and real trouble for anybody who lines up across the net from them. High school football is about pageantry on homecoming night. There's a big crowd here filing in. Marching band from Delta will be on the field tonight again. They've put temporary bleachers, a couple sections of them, the metal kind, on the track here, and Delta's band will be on the track portion of the stadium here throughout the game. They'll play the national anthem coming up in a little bit, in about 5, 6, 7 minutes maybe, but neither team has taken the field yet. They'll be out soon, and when they do, we'll be right around the corner from the reenactment of the coin flip and the starting lineups and kickoff of this one. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll set things up. It's Pendleton Heights and Delta. More after this on Beaver Media and the Del Co-Preps channel. You stay right there.
It's your ticket to an evening out that won't break the bank. It's your ticket to explosive runs, acrobatic catches, and game-saving tackles. It's your ticket to an experience you'll never forget. It's your ticket to the IHSAA State Football Tournament. Attending a tournament football game is a fun and affordable way to see sports played the way they were meant to be, for the pure love of it. The Indianapolis Colts and the Indiana High School Athletic Association invite you to be part of Indiana's rich tradition of high school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure state tournament excitement. The drama is set to kick off. Do you have your ticket? There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. There's just one place where a team is more than a group of individual agendas. It's a catalyst for demonstrating the potential of the collaborative spirit. There's just one place where players, coaches, and fans experience the exhilaration that happens when an entire community rallies behind the school team. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. In addition, high school sports help young people in Indiana develop the discipline and confidence they need to be leaders in life, even as they unite communities like nothing else. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. They're so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to Delta High School. Brian Beaver along with you. We're just a few moments away from getting this one underway tonight as Pendleton Heights visits Delta on Delta's fall homecoming night in 2018. Both teams had taken the stadium turf. We're not far off. Delta's band on the field playing the fight song, getting this crowd amped up. Good crowd. Looks like it's going to be darn near full here on the home side tonight, and almost full already across the way. So Pendleton Heights has traveled pretty well up I-69 as well. Thanks for joining me tonight. We're glad to have you along for the ride. Thanks for loaning me your ears for a couple of hours. This should be a dandy game. Sagarin predicts Delta by a few points in this one. If anything holds water from this season, this will be a high-scoring game, and it could be a very close one. Could go right down to the final play. Now the national anthem from the Delta Choir.
What so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming. Say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Nicely done by the Delta Choir. They slipped one in on us there at the end. Shame on you guys. We're about set to go. The teams are ready. The track will be cleared. The captains will go to midfield shortly, reenact the coin toss, and we'll get this one underway tonight here on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Fantastic having you along for the ride. If you're from out of town, maybe out of state, drop me a line either on YouTube or on my Twitter feed at Delco Preps. Let me know where you're listening. I'd love to know. We've had people all over the place. We've had listeners in Israel going back to baseball season, people who can't be in the seats but want to be in the game, and that's why we do what we do. Delta's captains will go out to midfield. Brady Pease, Wesley Wooden, Brady Edwards, Mason Hunt. They'll do the honors for Delta. This crowd is ready to get it on, and we'll have the reenactment of the coin toss and find out who's getting the ball first. Pendleton Heights already knows. They're sending their team out on the field. Here's the signal. Delta won the toss. They're going to receive. They'll defend the north goal. Pendleton Heights will defend the south goal. And as the stadium is aligned north-south here, that means Delta will move left to right to open the game. Last week, they scored early and often in a 49-14 win over Newcastle. They had the ball 5 times in the first half, cashed it in each time for a touchdown, led 35-0 at halftime. Good crowd, both online and in the stands. Let's play some football. Pendleton Heights will kick it away wearing green, dark green pants, white jerseys, dark green lettering, dark green helmets. They're about set to go. They've got it teed up. Nick Taylor, a lefty, to do the honors. Delta with a deep man at the 10-yard line, waiting on the kick. There's the whistle, the signal. Here he comes. There's the boot. A low line drive toward the far corner. It'll hit and roll out of bounds at around the 3-yard line. That'll be a penalty, and Delta will have a decision to make. Make them kick it again or take the ball and start the night. We'll wait for the signal. The officiating crew is going to move the chains up to the 35-yard line. So Delta is going to take the ball and open the night with Brady Hunt at quarterback. We'll set the rest of them for you momentarily. Ball on the far hash. That's the left end of the field as Delta's offense looks at it with 2 wideouts here on the near side. 1 split left across the way on the far side. Hunt will go under center for one of the few times this year on 1st and 10. He'll give it sweep left to Garner. Running room, 40, 44, out near the chain. Nice pickup on first down by Zach Garner. They'll give him a healthy 10 yards and a Delta first down.
Zach Garner. Tackle made by the Radiant, number 28, Luke Bay.
Good start to the game. Eagles will have Connor Bedwell, Zach Garner, Wesley Wooden at running back with Brady Hunt at QB. Cameron Levers and Dalen Case are the starting wideouts. Brady Edwards at center, Mason Hunt and Evan Conley at guard, Riley Wooden and Derek Markham at tackle. 1st and 10 at the Delta 45. Hunt, short drop, throws left side, caught by Gilland. He'll take it forward for about 9 yards into Pendleton Heights territory. They'll give him 8. It'll be 2nd and 2. Gilland with the grab. 2nd and short coming up for Delta on their opening drive. 45 seconds into the game. Gilland and Spencer St. John wide here on the near side, man in motion. Misdirection, handoff straight ahead. Bedwell into the second row, good for the first down on a pickup of 5 to the Arabian 42. So big chunk plays in the offensive ground game to start tonight's action for Delta. What else would you expect? They're running the ball very well. Even without Stitt, who's their leading scorer this year, out due to injury, This is a dangerous offense. They can score from anywhere on the field on any snap. First down, 10 yards to go. Here comes a sweep near side. Garner in trouble, just got down. Nice defensive work that time by Trevor Bynum to hold him to what amounts to no gain. Second and 10. So Delta takes the kickoff, goes to the 35 on the kick out of bounds. A couple of first downs have them in business on second and 10 at the Pendleton Heights 42-yard line. Ball on the near hash. Hunt again under center. Quick drop. Throws a dangerous pass in the flat. It's caught by Wooden, but he's going to be taken down for a loss right away on a really nice defensive play out there by PH. Hunter Thompson was out there. It's going to be a loss of 5.
Number 25, Hunter Thompson.
Sound good, Ray.
Third and 15. That'll put the ball on the PH 47. 9:37 to go, first quarter. This is the first possession of the night. Eagles will try to get a bunch here. Hunt again under center. 2 wide here on the near side. He'll drop. Going to throw a deep ball down here on the right side. He's got a man out there. Gillen's got it inside the 15, down to the 10-yard line. And a flag comes flying in late. Beautiful pitch and catch. 36 yards and a flag on top of it. Beautiful throw. It'll be a first and goal for Delta. Ball sitting at the 11-yard line before they assess the penalty. Let's wait and see the referee's signal here. 3 of the officials are going to talk it over briefly. Delta has already broken the huddle and is ready to run a play. Personal foul, face mask against Pendleton Heights. It'll move the ball to the 5.5-yard line. First penalty of the night. And Delta is first and goal inside the Pendleton Heights 6-yard line. Trying to drive it 65 yards on the opening possession of the game. 2 men are going to be wide left. Gillen in the slot. St. John split with 3 backs behind Hunt. Under center. Gives straight ahead. Bedwell runs into a wall of green and white after maybe a gain of a half yard. It'll be second and goal. Pease will check in. Bedwell will check out. So will St. John. Call it no gain. Second and goal, Eagles. Ball sitting just outside the Pendleton Heights 5-yard line. 8:40 to go, first quarter in a scoreless game, maybe not for much longer. Sutherland is in at tight end on the near side. 1 wide out. The handoff comes ahead to Pease. He powers his way ahead for a short gain. A wall of green again, and White stops him. And around the 3-yard line, it's going to be a gain of 3 and make it third and goal.
Number 34, Brady Pease, ball carrier for the Eagles.
Pease had a touchdown last week in that win at Newcastle. Comes in averaging about 5 1/3 yards a carry on third and goal. From inside the 4-yard line in Pendleton Heights territory, a full house T backfield behind Hunt, 1 man wide left. They're going to sweep it right. Here he goes. Garner cuts it upfield, can't get to the end zone. Looks like he got to around the 2, and it's going to be a fourth and goal situation.
Number 5, Zach Garner, ball carrier. Tackle made by number 7.
Ball will sit inside the 4-yard line. So if you're Chris Overholt, do you kick a field goal here that's almost sure thing, or do you go ahead and do you go for it? They're going to kick it. Zach Stanley, a 20-yard attempt. Schweer is the holder. Conley the snapper. It's on the tee. It's on the way. It's an ugly hooking kick, but it just got through good. That's not going on the resume tape, but you'll take it. Delta caps off a 65-yard drive. They put 3 on the board. They draw first blood. Going to the break, Delta 3, Pendleton Heights nothing on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Delta drives 65 yards and gets 3 out of it on the opening drive by either team tonight. And in the middle of the first quarter, Delta has a 3-0 lead on Zach Stanley's second field goal of the season. To kick it away now, Stanley with the ball right on the X on the 40. Deep man at around the 2, and that's respectful of this man's leg. He puts it in the end zone a lot. Pooch kick, it's onside, it's going to be caught by a Pendleton Heights short man at the 46. A little trickery attempted there by Delta, but it's great field position to open the night for the Arabians at their own 46-yard line. Christian Conkling at quarterback, Camden Early at running back with Anakin Allison, Jack Elijah, Eli Pankel, and Tristan Spinks at the wideouts. Arabians will run out of the pistol with a running back on either side for Conkling on 1st and 10. Their first snap of the night coming up shortly. Now Conkling walks toward his line, changes the call perhaps. Waiting on the snap. There it is. It's going to be a sweep right. A lot of running room out there, and Early takes it into Delta territory after a 9-yard gain. Nice burst from him on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and short. Gain of 9. Ball at the Delta 45. Approaching the halfway mark of the first quarter, 6:40 to go. Eagles ahead by triple. 2 men wide right, 1 left on here. The near side, it's the dangerous Eli Pankel here on the near side. 1 running back, and he's going to get the handoff, but taken down for a loss in the backfield. Early got the ball. He's got Early, and it's a loss of a yard. Terrific read, terrific play by Brady Pease. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Pease with a fantastic read, shot the gap, said, hey, Mr. Early, meet Mr. Turf. 3rd and 2 coming up for the Arabians. They trail it by 3. 5:50 to go, first quarter, as they drive right to left on a night with just a slight breeze at their back, southwest to northeast. Conkling with Early to his right. Wideouts all over the field. High snap nearly cost him. Conkling pulls it down, runs it straight ahead. He'll have enough for a PH first down at the Delta 43. Conkling made lemonade out of that. First down of the night for the Arabians. They'll have a fresh 4 at the Delta 43. Conkling needed every inch of that 6'4" frame to grab that high snap. Adam Brogio is the center. Isaac Scruggs and Cade Campbell are the guards, with Ben Coons and Cole Miller at tackle. 1st and 10 Arabians as they drive it toward the north goal. Elijah in at running back. He'll take the handoff, sweep right side, lots of running room into the secondary. He's going to be down near the chain again on a healthy gain. Jack Elijah got 9 yards. Make it 2nd and 1. Good down to throw on down here if you're inclined to go deep and take a shot at the end zone with the ball at the Delta 34 and a 2nd and 1. 2 men wide here on the near side, including Allison. Hankel is wide far side. That's right, near his bench. Conkling waiting on the ball. He's got it. He'll roll left, wants to throw. Out here in the flat, caught by Allison and taken out of bounds at around the 22-yard line. It's a 12-yard gain and another Pendleton Heights first down. Well done. Second first down of this drive by PH. Let's see what they do. Ball now on the near hash at the Delta 22. Conkling with Early to his left, otherwise empty backfield for him. Going to throw here on the near side. In the slot, it's caught by Allison, who fights his way inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. An 8-yard gain from Conkling to Allison. It'll be second and short. Ball sitting at the Delta 14, just inside. 4 minutes to go, first quarter. In a 3-0 game, the Eagles took the opening kickoff, drove down the field, got a 20-yard field goal from Zach Stanley. On second and short, 2 yards to go. Conkling waiting for the ball. He'll take it, keep it, cut it right side to the 10, down to the 5, fights his way toward the end zone. He's going to be just short of the goal line. They'll mark him down at the 2. It's a 12-yard pickup on the keeper by Conkling. And the third first down of the drive by Pendleton Heights. Ball sitting just inside the 2. First and goal, Arabians. Told you earlier this could be a high-scoring, close game. Every point is going to matter. 2 wide right, 2 wide left. I back behind. Conkling is Early. Conkling under center. He'll sneak it ahead. Did he get there? No. Delta kept him out after a short gain of about a yard. It'll be second and goal.
Number 12, Allison with the keeper. Stop made by Eagles, number 77, Brett Warner.
Ball will be sitting almost where it was a moment ago, between the 1 and the 2. Final 2:50 of the first quarter. You hear the crowd coming to life. Every point is going to matter in this game. These are two very evenly matched football teams. Again, in the I-back spot Early, straight behind the quarterback, Conkling. 2 wide outs either side. Waiting on the snap. He'll sneak it again. Did he get there? I don't know if he did. We'll wait on a touchdown. Late signal. Arabians are on the board. Christian Conkling from 2 yards out, and it's a 6-3 game. That caps off a 54-yard drive.
Number 12, Christian Conkling pushing forward.
On to try the PAT, Nick Taylor. All he's done is hit 28 out of 29 on the season. Let's see what PH is going to do with it. They wind up in a gadget formation now. They form up to kick it. Left-footed kicker waiting on it. Snap, hold, kick. Looks good. It is good. 2:31 to go, first quarter. Delta trails for the first time in a long time. It's PH 7, Delta 3 on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen and store managers who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the graduate who listens to the league championship game on the internet.
It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
High school sports. It's the we that every community needs. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the game. Here comes the kickoff. It's going to be taken at around the 11-yard line. Right straight ahead, 15. Now cut to the outside, running room for Levers. He stiff arms a man at the 30 and works his way forward to around the 32-yard line. We'll see where they put it down. It's going to be the 31. So a nice return by Levers, about 20 yards. And Delta goes back to work on offense, trailing now 7-3. Eagles have some work to do. Let's see what they come up with. Levers wide here on the near side. Man wide right. Man wide left. Sweep. Wooden gets the call. Takes the sweep left side. Works his way to around the 35. Maybe the 36 before Pendleton Heights can get him down. It's a 4-yard gain for Wes Wooden. Wes is the leading carrier on the team so far this year in terms of yardage. Bedwell has carried it more than anybody for the Eagles through 6 games. Make it 2nd and 6. Eagles ball. Eagles 36-yard line. Wide man near side, Dalen Case. Another one across the way, looks like Spencer St. John. Under center, Hunt. Quick throw here in the flat. It's in and out of the hands on the slant, trying to hook up with Dalen Case.
Passing complete, for number 15, Dalen Case.
First misfire of the night for Brady Hunt. 3 out of 4. Unofficially 39 yards. 1:42 to go in the first quarter. Gilland and St. John wide here on the near side. Man in motion is Garner. They'll give it to Garner. He'll sweep it this way. In trouble, trying to get to the corner. Cuts it upfield, breaks a tackle, works his way forward for a tough 2 or 3 yards to the 39.
Number 5, Zach Garner. Tackle made by the Arabians, number 66, Cole Robinson.
That'll make it, should be, a punting situation on 4th down and 3. And it is. Line of scrimmage, the Delta 39-yard line. Zach Garner will be the punter, waiting on the ball at his own 26. Eli Pankel, the dangerous return man for the Arabians, standing at his own 28. Garner waiting on the snap. It's a good one. No rush. Kick is a high spiral. It drives Pankel back to the 25. Cuts it right side. 30, 35, 40. Still going. Cuts to the outside. Spins away from another tackler. Goes all the way to the Delta 48-yard line. 27-yard return by Eli Pankel. And Pendleton Heights is in great shape at the Delta 48.
Number 54, Landon McConnell.
1st and 10 Arabians. They'll start it just inside Delta territory. Arabians have a 7-3 lead. Ball on the right hash for Christian Conkling. He'll hand it. Off tackle left side. Running room for a new man in the game. Joe Rios for a gain of around 7. Pendleton Heights has done most of its damage on the ground. Only 20 yards through the air, the rest of it on the ground. It'll be 2nd and 4. Ball right in the middle of the field between the hash marks at the Delta 42-yard line. Clock running down. Final play of the first quarter if they get it underway here. They do. Handoff straight ahead. Good surge by the Delta defense to stop him. Jack Elijah got the call and got 2 of the 4 they needed straight ahead. And that's going to do it in the first quarter. We've played 12 minutes. This one's been a barn burner. Look out, folks. This is going right down to the wire, I've got a feeling. We'll flip the field at the end of 1. Pendleton Heights 7, Delta 3 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the ball game. Brian Beaver along with you again tonight. We move to period number 2 in a 7-3 contest. Pendleton Heights out in front of Delta. Delta drew first blood but had to settle for a 20-yard field goal Pendleton Heights kept off their drive with a score, but a touchdown, and they lead by 4. Arabians have it 3rd and 2 at the Delta 40-yard line. Wideouts either side, one running back for Conkling, still in the pistol. He'll hand it, now take it out, keep it, take it left side. He's got enough for the first down and then some, all the way to the Delta 32-yard line. Conkling put the ball in the breadbasket, pulled it out, kept it himself. He's got himself another 8-yard gain and another first down for Pendleton Heights, their 4th unofficially of the night. 4 new snaps for him from the Delta 32-yard line. My dad would always say, winners score in 7s, losers score in 3s. That doesn't always hold water, but it does most of the time. Now on 1st and 10. Conkling moves the running back early from his right to his left in the pistol. 2 wideouts near side. Conkling wants to throw. He's got time. Throwing the ball down the middle. Man out there. It's caught. Touchdown. Eli Pankel. 32-yard leaping catch for the touchdown. It's 13-3 Pendleton Heights. Terrific catch by Pankel, who fought his way into the end zone the final couple of yards, took a shot in the end zone, in fact, and on to add point number 14 is Taylor. Only one miss this season for the left-footed soccer-style kicker. Only a sophomore. He's a weapon. Snap, hold, kick. Looks good. It is good. 11:30 to go, second quarter. Delta trailing now, 14-3 to Pendleton Heights. Back with more after this on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. There's just one place where a team is more than a group of individual agendas. It's a catalyst for demonstrating the potential of the collaborative spirit. There's just one place where players, coaches, and fans experience the exhilaration that happens when an entire community rallies behind the school team. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. In addition, high school sports help young people in Indiana develop the discipline and confidence they need to be leaders in life, even as they unite communities like nothing else. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Christian Conkling's 32-yard touchdown pass to Eli Pankel, the 15th throw of the year for a score by Conkling, the 7th caught by Pankel. Now an 11-point gap facing Delta. They need to get something going on this next series. Awaiting the kickoff. Here it comes. Twisting. It's going to hook out of bounds, way out of bounds at around the 15-yard line. Pendleton Heights has kicked it off 3 times and kicked it out of bounds twice. That's not a good thing. Maverick Hamilton is the kickoff man, and he's had trouble. For the second time tonight, the Eagles will have it in great field position. The officials put it at the wrong spot. They put it down at the 30. Now they've got it right at the 35. Third series of the night for the Delta offense. Let's see what they can do. They've stayed under center with their quarterback tonight. They were in the pistol a lot the first 6 games, but tonight under center for Brady Hunt. He'll drop. Quick throw here on the slant, nearly intercepted. Couldn't connect. Was intended for Dalen Case. It'll be 2nd and 10. Long way to go in this one. You got a couple teams averaging 44 points a game and 36 points a game. You think you're going to put the light bulbs to some use tonight, and I bet we will. Far from being the final score. On 2nd and 10. Gillen wide here on the near side. Another wide out across the way with 3 running backs along with Hunt. Garner in motion. The handoff goes straight ahead. Instead, Bedwell cuts around a tackler, powers his way over 2 more PH defenders all the way to midfield. What a great run by Connor Bedwell. First and 10 Eagles.
Connor Bedwell, tackle made by number 4, Kirby Hess.
Excellent piece of running by Bedwell. Bedwell, only a junior. So first and 10 Eagles right at midfield on the Eagle Head logo as they trail 14-3, first minute of the second quarter. Man in motion again is Garner, a straight head handoff again to Bedwell, who spins through a couple of guys and then powers his way for another extra yard to around the 47. It's going to be a 3-yard gain and 2nd and 7.
Ball carrier number 20, Connor Bedwell. Tackle made by
unofficially 3 carries, 18 yards for Bedwell. Spencer St. John shuttles in the new play. Brady Hunt breaks the huddle and brings him out. Garner and Levers will be wide here on the near side. Case wide far side. Hunt, straight drop, time to throw. Deep ball here, near sideline. He's got Levers out there. He juggles, can't make the catch, but a flag comes flying in, and it looks like it could be pass interference against the Arabians. Flag sitting at the 19.
Pass incomplete to number 11, Cameron Levers.
We'll wait on the signal from the official. The referee standing at around the 47-yard line back near the line of scrimmage. No signal from him yet. I would be willing to bet pass interference, Arabians. It's going to be against Delta. Wow. Pass interference against the offense on Levers. It'll back the Eagles all the way up to their 38. Wow, that's a big one. Wow. It's going to be a 22-yard to gain situation for Delta at their own 38. They need the PH 40. 2nd and 22. See what they can do. Men wide either side. Here's Hunt dropping. Time to throw. Fires here near side. It's behind the receiver. Case incomplete. It'll be 3rd and long. Hunt hit his first 3 passes of the night, has thrown 3 straight incompletions since then. 3 out of 6. 3rd and 22. Last week at Newcastle, Delta scored on a 1st and 30 on a pass. Eagles look a little flat offensively tonight so far. Not quite as crisp as they've been in the last couple of weeks. 3rd and 22. Hunt puts a man in motion. He'll sweep it to Garner right side, cuts it upfield, but only got a couple of yards to around the 40-yard line, and it'll be 4th down and a punting situation for Delta. Zach Garner, the ball carrier, is also the punter, and it'll be 4th down. Garner will drop back to punt with the ball sitting at the Delta 39-yard line. And again, the dangerous Eli Pankel, the deep man for the Arabians at his own 30-yard line. Garner waiting on the snap. There it is. Time to kick. Gets it away. High wobbly kick down the near sideline. It'll be allowed to hit the ground and roll out of bounds. Pankel says, we'll take it at our own 29, and that's where they'll get it. 9:32 to go before halftime. It's Pendleton Heights 14, Delta 3 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
On 1st down, a handoff goes to Early. Running room, breaks a couple tackles, sweeps it out the left side all the way in front of his bench to around the 30, make it the 47-yard line. 18-yard gain for Early and a 1st down for PH.
1st down, Arabians.
3 carries, 26 yards unofficially for Early. Camden early, junior running back, on 1st and 10. Arabians leading 14-3, just over 9 minutes to go in the first half. Conkling, the quarterback on the keeper left, gets powdered at the line of scrimmage, and a flag goes flying in. The contact continued off the field into the bench. Levers might have got caught with his hand in the cookie jar on a really nice stop. Just can't ride him out like that. Gain of only 2 to around the 49. Let's see what the officials say. At least it's not the NFL roughing the quarterback rule, which is a disaster so far. It will be a personal foul against Delta, and it's going to cost them 15 big ones. Ball sitting at the Delta 37. First down by penalty for Pendleton Heights. They have 6 in the game. Looking for more. Leading 14-3, 9:05 to go second quarter. Trips wide here on the near side. That's right for the Arabian offense. Here's a sweep left. Early. Gets hit at the line of scrimmage. Nice play by Nate Sutherland, who took him down on a solo stop out on the edge. If he doesn't get him, he's still going. It's a gain of 2 and 2nd and 8.
Second made by the Eagles, number 12, Nate Sutherland.
Sutherland's a fantastic defender. 12.5 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, 10 hurries. He's blocked a punt. He's blocked an extra point. He scored on a block punt that he blocked and recovered. 2nd and 8. Now from the pistol, Conkling standing at his 40. Make it the Delta 40. Cuts inside a rusher. Flag flies. Long throw down the middle. It's caught at around the 14-yard line, but it might be coming back. On a hookup from Conkling to Pankel, the officials look like they're going to penalize PH. Let's see what the man in the white hat says. The flag sitting in the backfield near where the throw was made at around the 41-yard line. That's almost always holding. Here's the signal, holding against Pendleton Heights. Second penalty of the game against the Arabians. Make it their 3rd. 2 kicks out of bounds and a holding penalty. Sends them back to their own 49. So Delta will defend now on 2nd and forever. PH ball at their own 49. They need the Delta 27. They need 24 yards. And now a whistle and a timeout taken by Delta. We'll take the break with them. 8:07 to go before halftime. It's Pendleton Heights 14, Delta 3 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
I'd like to thank our stadium project sponsors, 3D Construction.
Welcome back to the ball game. 8:07 to go in the second quarter. A timeout defensively by Delta that time. Didn't like what they saw as they get set to defend Pendleton Heights on 2nd and 24 yards to go. Arabians lead this one 14-3. Arabians will have it on the far hash as they move left to right across your imagination. 3 wideouts here on the near side, including Pankel, outstanding on the 5 in the 50. 1 back standing next to Conkling in the pistol. He's got it. He's going to keep it. Cut it inside. He is hit and taken down. Bedwell with the first contact. Brady P's there to clean it up. It's going to be at least no gain. It might be a loss of 1, and it is going to be a loss of 1.
12, Conkling with the keeper. Initial contact made by number 20, Connor Bedwell.
That'll bring up 3rd down, 25 yards to go. A quarter of the field. Delta cannot let them convert. Anakin Allison wide left, 3 wide here on the near side. That's the right. Conkling waiting on the ball. Got an 11-point lead in his pocket. Eagles show blitz. Here comes Peace. Here comes Sutherland. Conklin rolling right. Going to throw it near the sideline. It's over the head of his intended receiver, Jones, and around the 30-yard line, and that'll be fourth down coming up. That's the first incomplete pass thrown in the game by Conklin. And for the first time tonight, Pendleton Heights is going to give up the ball without scoring on a possession. This will be their first punt from their 48. Levers waiting on it at the Delta 20, all by himself. What you wouldn't give for a long return right here. Allison is the punter. One hop snap, kick underway. It's low. It might have been tipped. It's going to roll down the far sideline and roll out of bounds and around the Delta 25-yard line. 7:12 to go before halftime. It's PH 14, Delta 3 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. There's just one place where a team is more than a group of individual agendas. It's a catalyst for demonstrating the potential of the collaborative spirit. There's just one place where players, coaches, and fans experience the exhilaration that happens when an entire community rallies behind the school team. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. In addition, high school sports help young people in Indiana develop the discipline and confidence they need to be leaders in life, even as they unite communities like nothing else. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
2nd and 7 for Delta. They snuck a 3-yard Garner run in on me on second down. A throw to a man wide open here on the near side. Levers has it, spins out of 2 tackles, falls forward to the 43-yard line. Delta with an 18-yard gain from Hunt to Levers. First down, Eagles. Their 5th of the night. Delta 42-yard line officially. 1st and 10. Delta driving right to left. Gilland will run the play call into the huddle and give it to Brady Hunt. Of course, that stopped the clock on the first down at 6:27. Now they'll wind it. We're moving again at 6:20. Gilland wide here on the near side. 2 wide right for Hunt under center. Snap. Straight ahead handoff. Bedwell runs into a green and white line of tacklers. Good job to stop him that time by Jared Miller. Bedwell got 3 yards on the carry to make it 2nd down and 7. Bedwell, 5 carries, 24 yards here in the early going. Pendleton Heights leading this one 14-3. Delta took the opening kickoff, drove 65 yards, but settled for a 20-yard field goal from Zach Stanley. 2 straight scores from PH. Has the Eagles trailing. Here's a sweep left side, a lot of running room, open on the corner, 45, 40, 35, 30. Great power running on the end of the run, inside the 30-yard line. That's a great run from Wesley Wooden and another first down. Penalty flag here at the point of attack, though, and it might come back. Fantastic run by Wooden on the misdirection sweep. The officials will spot the ball at the 43, so it's a spot foul. It's going to cost Delta 10 yards. It'll cost them a first down. So it's going to be a gain of 7 for Wooden. 2nd and about 5. That wiped out a beautiful run by Wesley Wooden. That was a big one. It cost him about 25 yards in real estate in the end. 2nd and 5. Ball at the Delta 47 as they move right to left. Same play call. Wooden takes it ahead to around the 50. It'll be third and short. See what the Eagles do here on 3rd and 2. Trailing by 11. Plenty of game left. No reason to panic. Two really good, evenly matched football teams throwing haymaker rights at each other so far. Delta's had one big chunk play. It was a 36-yard pass from Hunt to Gillen. Outside of that, mostly short gains. Hunt with the quarterback sneak ahead, enough for the first down, but a flag in the backfield on the Delta side right before the snap. Procedure against the Eagles, and they're unraveling right now. 4 penalties against Delta, 45 penalty yards. That's 4.5 first downs. Can't do that. I said earlier they're a little flat. They're not quite as crisp tonight as they have been. Certainly not as good as last week so far. A lot of game left. It'll be 3rd and 7. Delta ball, Eagles 45. Here on the near hash, they need to get it inside the PH 48. Hunt drops, looks right. He's going to throw out here in the flat. It's caught far side. It's going to be good enough for the first down. A nice throw and catch to Gilland. He got just enough. They needed 7. He got 8. First down, Delta.
First down, Eagles.
Gillen, 3 catches, 52 yards. 65 yards throwing unofficially for Brady Hunt. Half a dozen first downs in the game for Delta. They need to get points on this trip, trailing 14-3, 4:10 to go before halftime. Misdirection give to Garner. Cuts through the secondary. Running room to the 40 or 41. Nice scamper forward by Garner to pick up 6 yards on first down. Delta with a nice mix of run and pass so far. They haven't been one-dimensional either way. 2nd and 4, good time to take a shot if you're inclined. Ball at the PH 41. Single coverage on the wideout here on the near side. Handoff straight ahead to Bedwell. Into the secondary, inside the 35. Down to the Pendleton Heights 32-yard line, another first down on a 9-yard scamper by Bedwell. 6 carries, 33 yards for Bedwell. 1st and 10 Eagles at the Arabians 32. Final 3:20 of the first half. PH leading Delta 14-3. Man in motion, misdirection give to Garner. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back for a loss. No one fooled up front that time by Pendleton Heights. They sniffed it out, and it's a -2. Actually, they're going to put him near the stick for a 1-yard loss. 2nd and 11. Second and 11. Gillen wide here near side again. Single coverage on him. Hunt drops. Did he see it? He's going to throw the other way. Incomplete. On a throw just off the hands of a diving Cameron Levers. It'll be 3rd and long. Third down and 11. Incomplete throw will stop the clock at 2:30. Levers checks out. St. John brings in the play. Eagles need a score. They'd like to convert here and try to get 6 on this trip. This drive began at their own 25. Hunt on 3rd and 11. Drops, under pressure, throws. It is picked off at the 24-yard line by Pendleton Heights. Hunter Thompson stepped in front of the throw, and the drive comes to a screeching halt. Costly turnover. Pendleton Heights will take the ball at their own 31. Terrific read by Thompson, one of the DBs who just dropped in, cut under it, caught it. Arabians will have it, 1st and 10 at their 31. 2:25 to go before halftime, leading 14-3. Conkling waiting on the snap. There it is. Under pressure, steps up, throws. It's over the middle. Oh, in and out of the hands of Cameron Levers at the 49-yard line. Shoulda, coulda, woulda been an interception, but he dropped it. Oh. That's the verbal, no definition, body language version of that. Ugh. He knows he just let one get away. 2nd and 10. See if he gets another chance for redemption. Final 2:20 of the first half. Eagles trailing 14-3, trying to get it back from the Arabians. Here's a deep drop. Conkling is going to be hit and sacked. Taken down at around the 29-yard line. Make it the 24-yard line. Mason Hunt eats him for lunch. It's a sack.
Sacked by the Eagles.
Great play. Sutherland there. Hunt there. First sack of the night by the Eagles defense. It's a loss of about 6 yards. 3rd and long. Sack number 5.5 for Sutherland. And it's 3rd down and about 17 yards to go. Timeout called on the field. We'll stay right here as the teams go to the sidelines. Minute 33 to go. And if you're Delta, you really want to try to force a punt down here and maybe get the ball back with 30, 45 seconds to go in the half, if you're lucky. Recap the scoring quickly for you. Delta took the opening kickoff, drove it 65 yards, but got a field goal from Stanley instead of a touchdown to make it 3-0 at 7:05 of the first. PH came right back. 2:31 of the first. Conkling a 2-yard run. Taylor's kick made it 7-3, Pendleton Heights. And 11:30 to go in the second quarter. PH on a long bomb, a 32-yard pass from Conkling to Pankel. Taylor's kick was good. 14-3 game. We've been stuck there ever since. So coming out of the timeout, Delta trying to force the action. It'll be 3rd down, 17 yards to go. Ball sitting at around the 25. They need to get outside the 41, does PH. From the pistol, Conkling waiting on the snap. There it is. Looking left, now looking down the middle. He's in trouble. He's going to scamper, throw on the run. It's going to be tipped out of bounds on a beautiful play by the Delta secondary. Howard and Wooden were over there to knock it away. Incomplete. Wes Wooden with a terrific play at DB. 4th down. And it stops the clock with 1:27 to go. You've forced the punt that you were looking for if you're Delta. What can you do with it now? Punt, line of scrimmage will be the 25. Dropping back to take it for Delta, Levers at his own 36. Waiting on the snap is Allison. Good snap. Right foot boot. It's returnable. It's going to drive Levers all the way back. It's going to roll inside the 20, inside the 10, get in the end zone. It's going to just get in the end zone for a touchback. That's a 75-yard punt by Anik and Allison. PH did everything they could to pin him down. Couldn't do it. It's going to be a touchback. Do we have another penalty marker? 2 officials will talk about it. We're going to stay right here with you. Wow, Delta caught a major break. That top spin roller, if it had died, would have come to rest inside the 10, in fact, inside the 5, but it had just enough to roll into the end zone. So $1:16 on the clock. Delta has the ball at its 20, trailing 14-3. Let's see what they do with it here with a wide man on either side. Hunt under center. Man in motion is Garner. They'll give it to the next man through on an inside handoff and not much yardage. Did the ball come out? PH says it's ours. The referee will come in. He says, yes, Arabians ball at the Delta 21-yard line. Oh, horrible luck if you're Delta. Bedwell with the fumble after a 1-yard gain. Big turnover. Going to have a timeout on the field as Pendleton Heights talks it over. 56 seconds to go. First half. We'll take a quick break. It's PH 14 Delta 3 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We head for the final 1:03 in the first half. Delta with a costly fumble that they lost at their own 20-yard line. Pendleton Heights leading this game 14-3, and in the red zone to start this drive. They're going to say Delta got it back. What is up with that? Take the break, folks. Wow. Delta will keep the ball. Misdirection spin. Wooden on the corner. Can't get much more than 3 yards. The officials gave that ball to Pendleton Heights. I swear to God. Unreal. Well, let's unwrap it. 3-yard pickup for Wooden. 58 seconds to go in the period. Delta has called a timeout to stop things. Well, I don't know how you go from fumble recovered by PH to Delta ball again, but that's what we had. Delta will keep it. They really caught a break there. You turn that ball over at your own 20, trailing by 11 already, could be a critical point in the game. As it is, Delta will come out of this timeout with a 3rd and 7 from their own 23. They'll have 58 ticks left before halftime, trailing by 11. Has not been the Eagles' first half. They've committed 4 costly penalties. Punt under center. Wideouts either side. He'll drop. Hand sweep this way. Wooden cuts it upfield at the 25. Got to around the 28. 4-yard pickup for Wesley. They'll put it down at the Delta 28-yard line. Final 40 seconds of the half. PH will get the ball, by the way, to open the third quarter. They lost the flip. Delta took the ball. Eagles are probably down to their final snap unless something spectacular happens on this next play. Play clock is down to 7. They may just take a delay of game penalty and say, let's get out of here and go to the locker room. Now a timeout taken with 10 seconds left on the game clock by Chris Overholt. And the teams will go to the sidelines again. Told you early on this was going to be a close game. They've made me look smart in that regard.
If we can have all senior
the wind is gusting now. In fact, the wind caught the ball sideways and blew it about 5 yards downfield. What began as a southwesterly wind is now howling out of the north. Flag is a big one here at Delta on this pole on the south end of the stadium, and it's ripping. Delta will go back out on 4th down. They're going to punt it away. Zach Garner to do the honors. Line of scrimmage, the Delta 28. 10 seconds to go in the half. 10 jersey digits on Eli Pankel's jersey. He waits for the punt at his 43. Dangerous man on the return game. Garner's going to take the snap and roll, and now Pooch kick it. It's a short, wobbly kick. It'll land around the Delta 40-yard line. and take now a PH roll to around the 36. That's an 8-yard punt, but it brings a merciful end to the half as Delta let it roll, didn't touch it, and that burned the clock. We've played 24 minutes of football in Royerton at halftime. On homecoming night 2018, Pendleton Heights is ruining the party. It's the Arabians 14, Delta 3. Back with a halftime show after this timeout on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In Fort Wayne, two sisters make a historic splash when they swim their way to a pair of individual state titles.
In Evansville, a boys and girls soccer team become state champions in the same year for the same school, claiming their place in Indiana history.
In Bloomington, 12 young men combine their talents, check their egos, and net a basketball state title.
High school sports have provided us with as many inspirational stories as there are towns in Indiana.
In Valparaiso, a gymnastics team scores a perfect season, winning a record 7 state championships for their school in the process.
A football team south of Indianapolis refuses to lose, comes from behind, and runs away with an improbable state title.
What will the story be in your community? High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message made possible by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in this community.
You'll see adversity tackled and obstacles overcome. You'll be energized by the thrill of triumph or moved to tears by a sudden crushing defeat. You'll feel a surge of adrenaline. You'll feel like you're on top of the world. You'll experience it all as you watch the Indianapolis Colts compete for another Super Bowl title.
Sure, but you can also experience it by attending a high school sporting event in your community. Your local high school sports teams and the Indianapolis Colts really do have a lot in common. They give communities a chance to come together, to cheer for the home team. They give us a chance to be part of something truly special, but only if we give them our support. Back to you, Mr. Announcer Guy.
The IHSAA and your Indianapolis Colts, bringing communities together. The Indianapolis Colts are proud sponsors of the IHSAA State Football Tournament. There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. There's just one place where a team is more than a group of individual agendas. It's a catalyst for demonstrating the potential of the collaborative spirit. There's just one place where players, coaches, and fans experience the exhilaration that happens when an entire community rallies behind the school team. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. In addition, high school sports help young people in Indiana develop the discipline and confidence they need to be leaders in life, even as they unite communities like nothing else. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
2017 Homecoming King, Mr. Jamie Kiesling.
Welcome back to Delta High School. We're at halftime of, as you just heard, Homecoming Night 2018, and the King, standing next to his queen, has his crown. Gotta love that. We're at intermission. Delta trailing here at halftime to Pendleton Heights by a score of 14-3. Brian Beaver along with you. Told you that was going to be the queen. Anyway, been quite an interesting ball game. Scoring summary for you will not take long. We've only had 3 scoring plays in the entire game. Delta took the opening kickoff tonight after winning the coin toss. They drove it down the field 65 yards. Looked like they were going to get a touchdown. Had it first and goal. Couldn't get it in. Settled for what amounts to an extra point. A 20-yard field goal from Zach Stanley. And it was 3-0 Delta at 7:05 of the first quarter. Pendleton Heights took control on the next possession. Drove it down the field. Cashed in a 2-yard run by their quarterback, Christian Conkling. Taylor's kick, the first of 2 of them tonight, made it 7-3 Arabians with 2:31 to go in the first quarter. The only score of period number 2 belonged to the guys with the horses as well. The Arabians threw a 32-yard bomb from Conkling to Eli Pankel. Taylor added the kick, and at 11:30 of the second quarter, it was 14-3 Arabians. That's where we stayed the rest of the first half. Despite each team's attempts to drive down the field and get points, neither one could. And that's where we stand at halftime, a 14-3 contest. The Arabians are trying to break a 2-game losing skid. Delta trying to win the 5th game in a row for the first time in 3 years. And 4 in a row is the longest winning streak in Chris Oberholt's coaching tenure. He's in his 3rd year now. So he would love to go from having a 4-game dub streak to a 5. But his team has some work to do, trailing by 11 points. Last year, PH won this game 28-13 in late September. So little work to do for the guys in the blue and white and gold here tonight in Royerton. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll recap the unofficial first half statistics for each team. Right now, we'll take the break. It's halftime. Pendleton Heights 14, Delta 3 on Beaver Media and on the Delco Preps channel.
In Fort Wayne, 2 sisters make a historic splash when they swim their way to a pair of individual state titles.
In Evansville, a boys and girls soccer team become state champions in the same year for the same school, claiming their place in Indiana history.
In Bloomington, 12 young men combine their talents, check their egos, and net a basketball state title.
High school sports have provided us with as many inspirational stories as there are towns in Indiana.
In Valparaiso, a gymnastics team scores a perfect season, winning a record 7th state championship for their school in the process.
A football team south of Indianapolis refuses to lose, comes from behind, and runs away with an improbable state title.
What will the story be in your community? High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message made possible by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in this community.
You'll see adversity tackled and obstacles overcome. You'll be energized by the thrill of triumph or moved to tears by a sudden crushing defeat. You'll feel a surge of adrenaline. You'll feel like you're on top of the world. You'll experience it all as you watch the Indianapolis Colts compete for another Super Bowl title.
Sure, but you can also experience it by attending a high school sporting event in your community. Your local high school sports teams and the Indianapolis Colts really do have a lot in common. They give communities a chance to come together, to cheer for the home team. They give us a chance to be part of something truly special, but only if we give them our support. Back to you, Mr. Announcer Guy.
The IHSAA and your Indianapolis Colts, bringing communities together. The Indianapolis Colts are proud sponsors of the IHSAA State Football Tournament.
Who do I swim for? I swim on my high school team for my mom, who gets up at 5 o'clock every morning to take me to practice.
I swim for hugs from my teammates, spaghetti dinners, and my lucky neon green goggles.
I swim for Coach Murray, who pushes me to dig deep and finish strong.
More than 7.7 million American teenagers participate in high school sports every year, including about 152,000 here in Indiana. They're all learning essential life lessons, like the importance of hard work, time management, and self-discipline. Skills that are helping them become better leaders and more active, responsible citizens.
Most of all, I swim for myself, because I learn more about who I am and who I want to be every time I dive into the pool. That's who I swim for.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to Royerton, Indiana. We're at halftime in this Hoosier Heritage Conference battle. Delta trailing Pendleton Heights at the break, 14-3. There's a T-Mac sighting in the press box tonight. Finally. I have to give him some static. He's a good guy. 14-3 game here at the break with the Arabians riding high so far over the Eagles. In the first half, team numbers. Pendleton Heights with 116 total yards, 52 of those in the air, the rest on the ground. They committed 3 penalties, picked up 6 first downs unofficially, punted the ball twice. Delta with 144 total yards unofficially, 65 in the air, the rest on the ground. 4 penalties, costly ones. 3 big ones and a small one. 45 penalty yards against Delta in the first half. Eagles have 7 first downs unofficially. A costly interception thrown by Brady Hunt. Brought an into and drive, but it didn't cost him in points. That was good for them, but it really brought a drive to a halt that was clicking on all cylinders. Punt-wise, 3 by Delta. Zach Garner doing the honors on all of them. So, individually, let's go over those numbers for you. First, for Pendleton Heights, which leads by 11 here at halftime, Christian Conkling was 3 for 6, passing for 52 yards and a touchdown. Anakin Allison, 2 catches, 20 yards. Eli Pankel, a catch for 32 and the touchdown from Conkling. The rushing game, Conkling, 7 carries, 18 yards. Early, 4 carries, 28 yards. Rios with a carry for 7. Elijah with 2 carries for 11. Delta, Brady Hunt, 5 out of 10 unofficially throwing in the first half, 65 net yards. Threw that interception on his final throw of the first half. He probably wishes he had that ball back. In terms of receptions, Gilland with 3 for 52 yards. Levers 1 for 18. And Bedwell 1 for 5. So, rushing, Garner 6 for 23. Bedwell 8 for 32. Wooden 5 for 21. He had a beautiful long run, cut in half basically on a costly Delta penalty. Pease with 1 rush for a 3-yard gain. So 1 sack in the first half by the Delta defense. Went to who else? Nate Sutherland with some cleanup help from Mason Hunt. Probably going to go as a solo sack for Sutherland, though, and that would give him 5.5 already this year here in week 7. He's had a great defensive year. He has 12.5 tackles for loss to go along with all those sacks and a lot of solo stops. 18 of his 29 tackles coming in tonight were solo stops. Sutherland's a tough defender on the edge at 6 feet and 190. He's a senior. So that'll wrap up the statistical rundown for you. Delta actually outgaining Pendleton Heights in the first half by about 30 yards. but the scoreboard says Arabians and not Delta, as the Eagles trail the Arabians 14-3 at halftime. Other games in the conference tonight: Newcastle at Mount Vernon, New Palestine at Shelbyville, Yorktown down at Greenfield Central. So Delta trying to keep a share of the conference lead. They came into this game at 5-1 overall and 4-0 in the league, and they want to keep pace with Pendleton Heights and maybe pass them up here in the second half. They got to commit fewer penalties. They really kind of need to get the throwing game on track. We talked earlier in the season about how Delta has had a lot of big scoring plays on both sides of the ball. They run big, they pass big in their offense. And they've only had one big chunk play tonight, and it was that 36-yard pass early in the game from Hunt to Gillen. They're going to need some more of those big plays to win this football game and stay undefeated in the Hoosier Heritage Conference. Both teams are in the locker room here on homecoming night 2018, a little bit extra length through the halftime. And that's the reason for the band doing its thing down on the stadium track. We'll take a break, come back with more. It's halftime. Arabians 14, Eagles 3 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. There's just one place where a team is more than a group of individual agendas. It's a catalyst for demonstrating the potential of the collaborative spirit. There's just one place where players, coaches, and fans experience the exhilaration that happens when an entire community rallies behind the school team. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. In addition, high school sports help young people in Indiana develop the discipline and confidence they need to be leaders in life, even as they unite communities like nothing else. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It's the geometry teacher who mans the ticket window.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen and store managers who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the graduate who listens to the league championship game on the internet.
It's the parent who sells ads in the school athletic program.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
It's the trainers, equipment managers, and ball boys who never miss a practice.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
High school sports. It's the we that every community needs. This message is presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the ball game. We're a few minutes shy of the start of the second half. This game tonight in the Hoosier Heritage Conference finds Pendleton Heights out in front of Delta at intermission 14-3. First time Delta has trailed at halftime since week 2 when they lost on the road at Eastbrook. So for the first time in about a month, the Eagles are in negative territory going to the locker room. Good chance, though, to come back if they can get a stop to open the half. Pendleton Heights is going to get the football to start the third quarter. It'll be a big defensive series for Chris Overholt's Eagles to try to get PH off the field, get the ball back, and try to come down and get a touchdown and tighten this one up. 14-3 is certainly anybody's game. We'll see how the second half transpires and plays itself out. Well, I've got a minute to mention this for you Delta folks. On Saturday morning, Seth Paul, the varsity baseball coach here at Delta, is having a middle school fall baseball camp. It's a day camp tomorrow in the morning. You don't have to be pre-registered. If you feel like getting up in the morning and bringing your middle schooler out here to Delta, you can certainly come out, pay, walk up, and do your thing tomorrow morning. Seth's an outstanding coach, runs a quality program. If you have a youngster coming up who wants to learn the Delta way to play the game, tomorrow's a great chance to do it. Go to Twitter and search for Delta Baseball. You'll find Coach Paul's feed and more information about tomorrow's camp and how to get involved in it. So it's a great way to get a young player some experience under a really good setting tomorrow. What else do you have to do on a Saturday morning after a Friday night football game, right? So both teams are back on the field, warming up. We're not far from the start of the third quarter. We'll take one more break, come back, and get this one back underway as Delta trails Pendleton Knights 14-3 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
You'll see adversity tackled and obstacles overcome. You'll be energized by the thrill of triumph or moved to tears by a sudden crushing defeat. You'll feel a surge of adrenaline. You'll feel like you're on top of the world. You'll experience it all as you watch the Indianapolis Colts compete for another Super Bowl title.
Sure, but you can also experience it by attending a high school sporting event in your community. Your local high school sports teams and the Indianapolis Colts really do have a lot in common. They give communities a chance to come together, to cheer for the home team. They give us a chance to be part of something truly special, but only if we give them our support. Back to you, Mr. Announcer Guy.
The IHSAA and your Indianapolis Colts, bringing communities together. The Indianapolis Colts are proud sponsors of the IHSAA State Football Tournament. Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Indiana. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports, they're so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We're back in Royerton at Delta High School. Both teams have come out on the field and are going through the final phases of their brief warm-up before we start things here in period number 3. Delta trailing on homecoming night and intermission. Pendleton Heights 14, Delta 3. Still anybody's ball game. Going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. Jed Richmond and Chris Overholt both in the third year of their coaching runs at their respective schools. And they both have talent. We'll see what goes down here in the final 24 minutes or so. This is a game I really thought was going to be about a one-touchdown game either way. Maybe high scoring. It's been low scoring so far, but a lot can happen in the next 24 minutes. And these are two teams that have quick strike ability, and the touchdown pass by Pendleton Heights is the prime example. They throw a 32-yard bomb and get a touchdown on a big chunk play. The next longest completion was 12 yards by Pendleton Heights. So It's not necessarily how many you get, but what they're worth. So we're all set to go. Clock has its 12 minutes on it. Both teams are on the field. Delta preparing to kick it away to Pendleton Heights. Delta wearing the all dark blue uniforms tonight. Very sharp, white lettering, gold trim. And Pendleton Heights in the road unis, the dark green pants, white jerseys with dark green accents, dark green lettering, dark green helmets with the PH on the side. Zach Stanley has it teed up for Delta. He'll be kicking with a strong wind at his back now out of the north here in the second half. Eli Pankel waiting on the kick at the Pendleton Heights 2-yard line. Strong leg by Stanley. He booms it. It's down, heading for the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and that's just what the doctor ordered. So the Arabians will open the second half with the ball, but only at their own 20-yard line. Pankel is very dangerous. He had an excellent kickoff return earlier in the game that very nearly went the distance. So time to go to work for the Delta defense. Can they get PH off the field quickly here on the first drive of the second half, trailing by 11? Man runs into the huddle for PH late. Play clock is already down to 20, and they haven't broken the huddle yet. Here they come. Conkling, the quarterback. He has gone the distance as usual. Running back on either side of him. Wideouts on either side. On 1st and 10. Conkling in the pistol. Handoff straight ahead. Lots of running room. Defender tripped him up at around the 27-yard line. But a nice gain on first down by Early. 7-yard pickup for him. It'll be 2nd and 3. Early is the breadwinner in terms of the ground game. He came in needing 8 yards to go to 500 for the season. He's got that and then some. It'll be 2nd and a fat 3, a short 4. Pankel wide here on the near side with single coverage from Garner. 2 wideouts far side as PH moves right to left. Into the wind. Handoff straight ahead. Early again with the call, the carry, and enough for the first down. Out to the 31, maybe the 32.
Ball carried up the middle by number 20.
They'll give him 5 yards to the 31. First down, Arabians.
34, Brady P.
Delta trailing by 11, 14-3. The Arabians trying to go down and get a score that would create a pretty good gap here if they could get another one. One running back to the right of Conkling in the pistol. Has the snap. Throws ball down here on the near sideline. Just at the last minute, Garner leaps and tips it away. Pankel was behind him. If he catches that, it's a touchdown. Great breakup by Garner. Saved the day. Just missed being a long one for PH. 2nd and 10. 2 defenders run on late for Delta. Not sure what they're doing here. Wholesale changes. Arabians ball at their own 31. Handoff on the inside. Early with a short gain to around the 34. Give them a 3-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd and long.
Ball carried by the Arabians, number 20, Camden Early.
Delta trying to get off the field here and give their offense a chance to mount a drive and get a touchdown. This is the lowest scoring mark of the season for Delta so far. They got beat at Eastbrook 28-6. They trail here 14-3. A lot of game left. 3rd down, 6 yards to go. Arabians will put it in Conkling's hands. He'll roll right, looks to fire, fires on the run. A diving catch made at the 44-yard line. 10-yard pickup. Allison with the beautiful catch on a 10-yard throw from Conkling. Another first down for the Arabians. They have 7 in the game, 2 on this drive, and a fresh 4 snaps at their own 45. They'll bring a man wide here near side. That's Tristan Spinks. Conkling waiting on the ball. There it is. Fakes the handoff ahead, keeps it and runs straight ahead through the heart of the Delta defense. Short gain to around the 48-yard line.
Christian Conkling with the keeper. Tackle made by Eagles number 12, Nate Sutherland.
Conkling got 3 yards to make it 2nd and 7. Delta needs a spark play. A turnover would be outstanding. The only one in the game belongs to Pendleton Heights, which picked off Brady Hunt late in the first half. On 2nd down, Conkling cuts the high snap, fakes to a man left, keeps it and rolls right. He's going to run it downfield to around the 42, maybe the 43 in Delta territory before he's bumped out of bounds by Westwood. Conkling picks up 10 yards and a first down. Conkling's a big fella, 6'4", 215. He'll put a lick on you. So another first down gives the Arabians 4 more snaps from the Delta 43. 8:49 to go, third quarter. PH already leading 14-3 as they move right to left into the wind. Another high snap. Conkling has it, throws here near side, caught, taken forward to around the 37-yard line. Another nice catch out here on the edge by Spinks. Spinks got 7 yards on the catch, 2nd and short. His first reception of the game. 2nd and short, only 3 yards to go from the Delta 36. Will you take a shot at the end zone here? Hankel wide here on the near side. Conkling's going to keep it. Sweep it right. Cut it upfield. Dives forward to around the 29. He's got enough for the first down. Conkling gains 7 yards again on the keeper. Delta hasn't had an answer for the keeper tonight yet. It's been a problem. Another first down for the Arabians. 8:25 to go here in the first portion of the third quarter. PH trying to get another score. They'll hand it, sweep it right early. Doesn't have much running room. 3 tough yards to the Delta 27-yard line.
Ball carrier number 20, Camden Early.
Early now, 8 carries, 46 yards in the game. 2nd and 8 coming up as Conkling gets the play call and trots back into his huddle. He'll split 2 men wide here on the near side. Pankel farthest away on the split end slot, 2 wide on either side. 1 back. Conkling throwing toward the end zone. It's near the corner and it's broken up. Garner was the closest man to it. He knocked it away. Pankel was out there, the intended receiver, but the ball was way off target. And it'll be 3rd down. That might have been a mix-up in routes there because that ball was 5 yards away from the receiver, and Garner was the only guy near it, and he knocked it away. 3rd down, 8 yards to go for the Arabians at the Delta 27-yard line.
I know.
Jones and Spinks split wide here on the near side. Pankel wide right across the way near the numbers. Conkling takes it down, has it. He's in trouble. Cuts it upfield, breaks the tackle, got down near the first down. Should have been taken down way before then, but he escaped the tackle, and he may have the first down at the 19.
Number 12.
So wait on the signal. It is a first down.
First down, Arabians.
The Arabian ground game has been very good on this drive to open the third quarter. They have burned 5.5 minutes of clock. They've taken it from their 20 to the Delta 19. They're in the red zone, already leading 14-3. Delta line jumped offside. Warner and Sutherland both fired early. It's going to cost them 5. Unofficially 5 penalties against Delta. Now it's 1st and 5 at the Delta 14. 7 minutes to go, third quarter. 2 men wide here on the near side, 1 wide right. The one across the way is the dangerous Eli Pankel. He looks toward his sideline. Conkling walks toward his center and barks out a change. Now he's back in the pistol, claps, and takes the ball. Going to run it straight ahead. Down inside the 15 to around the 10. They needed the 9. 4-yard gain, 2nd and 1.
Number 12, Christian Conlon with the keeper. Stop made by the Eagles, number 77.
Heavy dose of the keeper on this drive. The Arabians will have it 2nd and 1 at the Delta 11-yard line. Good time to think about a throw if you're going to put it in the air at all. Pankel wide right. Spinks wide left. Conkling takes the ball. Fakes, rolls right, throws under pressure toward the end zone. It's knocked down. Incomplete. Throw to the end zone.
Pass incomplete, intended for number 35, Tristan Ross.
That'll make it 3rd and short. See if the Eagles can hold here. Pendleton Heights on this trip into the red zone with the ball at the Delta 10-yard line. They need the 9. Power formation to the left. Conkling with 2 running backs in front of him if he wants them. Now he'll call a timeout. He doesn't see what he wants, and it's a timeout, Arabians. We'll take the break with him. 5:55 to go, third quarter. It's PH 14 Delta 3 on Beaver Media. Co-Preps channel. Stay right there.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Pardon me. Welcome back to the game. 3rd and 1. Pendleton Heights at the Delta 10. Conkling keeps, cuts it inside, heads for the end zone, spins forward, touchdown.
Number 12, Christian Conlon with keeper, pushing it in for an Arabian touchdown.
Conkling takes it in from 10 yards out. Excuse me. From 10 yards out. 20-3 game. Taylor on for the kick. Left footer. Kick up, kick good. Pendleton Heights says, excuse me, broken this one open. 21-3 game. 5:41 to go in the third quarter. Back with more after this on the Delco Preps channel.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Indiana so special? They do.
You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the ball game. Pendleton Heights has broken this one open. They drive 80 yards for a touchdown to make it 21-3. A lot of work for Delta to do with 5:49 left in the third quarter. They need a drive and a score here. Kickoff, high, deep, returnable at the 12. Levers, zigzags to daylight on the corner. 25, turns the corner 30, knocked out of bounds at around the Delta 37-yard line. 25-yard return by Levers. It's 1st and 10 Eagles.
Number 11, Cameron Levers. Tackle made by the Arabians. Number 20, Camden Early.
So let's see if the Eagles can get on track here from their 37. They need to answer back in a big way. Hunt will go under center again on 1st down. Fumble exchange. Hunt fell on it, but it's going to be a loss. It's going to be a fumble -6.
Fumble and recovery by number 16, Brady Hunt.
I said a little earlier, they're not quite as crisp and sharp tonight as they've been recently. Don't know how much that has to do with putting him back under center instead of going out of the pistol. Maybe something, maybe nothing. 2nd and 16. Hunt again under center. Dropping, looking to throw. Fires. It's caught at around the 40, taken to the 41. Nice grab by Gilland. Give him a gain of 9.
Pass complete to number 4, Tyler Gilland. Tackle made by the Ravens, number 25, Hunter Thompson.
4th grab of the night by Gilland. And it'll be 3rd down and 6. Ball sitting at the Delta 41. Gilland wide here, split right. Garner will be in the slot right. Hunt looks right, wants to throw, throws the slant, tipped, intercepted. Taken down at the 42-yard line. The tip pass is intercepted. That's Joe Rios who comes up with the pick. And Pendleton Heights is in business again. Second interception in the last 3 throws by Brady Hunt. Not what you needed. Second pick of the night. First one of the year by Rios. Delta really in trouble now. 21-3 game. PH ball at their 41-yard line. Deltas. Sweep right by the keeper on the quarterback, and it's Conkling, and he rolls ahead for about 8 yards. Just has not been Delta's night so far. The 8-yard pickup puts the ball down at the Delta 20, make it the 30, 34. Man split near is Spinks. Twin running backs on either side of Conkling. He'll keep it on the ground and hand it to Rios, who powers his way straight ahead down near the stick. It's going to be close to a first down. They'll unpile it. Take a look. It is a first down. Nice piece of running by Rios. Another first down for the Arabians at the Delta 31. 3:25 to go in the third quarter. This place has gotten very quiet. Eagles need a spark play. They need something good to happen in a big way. On first down, Conkling looks over at a teammate. I don't think he liked where the formation was going, and he calls a timeout. We'll take a quick break with them. 3:11 to go, third quarter. It's PH 21 Delta 3 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We're back in Royerton coming out of the Pendleton Heights timeout. The Arabians have the ball. 1st and 10 on the Delta 31-yard line. Ball on the right hash as they move south to north. Arabians leading 21-3. A score here would be a backbreaker. Conkling gives it to Early. Early hits right side off tackle. Did the ball come out? No. Runner bounced ahead off contact. Good second effort to take it to the 24.
Early. Initial contact made by number 52, Mason Hunt.
Big dose of Early here in the second half. 2nd and 2. Arabians are rolling right now. Handoff, left side sweep. Good job by the Delta defense to bottle it up. A flag goes flying into the tackle pile. That is often but not always face mask.
Ball carried by number 23, Joseph Rios.
Rios on the carry. Got nowhere near the first down. The officials are going to talk to Brady Pease, the Delta defensive captain. Good sign that it's on the Arabians. Here comes the signal. Holding against the Arabians. That'll push them back. 4th penalty in the game against the Arabians. They've had a pretty good night in terms of infractions. This puts it all the way back on the 35-yard line. So make it 2nd down and 14 yards to go. 2.5 minutes to go, third quarter. In a 21-3 game, the Arabians are already leading. They're looking for more. Conkling with 2 men wide near, too far. Looks left, throws left. Nearly intercepted. It's caught by Spinks. He struggles ahead to around the 31-yard line. Short gain. Don't put him down at the 32. 3rd and 11. Four down territory. If you're Pendleton Heights, probably with a chance to step on their throat, but you got 3rd and 11 staring you in the face at the Delta 32. Ball on the near hash. 2 wide on either side for Conkling. Takes the snap, has time, going to throw deep to the end zone. He's got a man out there. It's going to be intercepted and brought back to the 10, to the 15, to the 21-yard line. There's the spark play you needed. Tyler Gillen comes up with the pick. That's his 4th of the season, and Delta holds. He picked it off around the goal line. Brought it back to the 22. So Delta dodges the bullet. They get the defensive stop they needed. Can they turn this one around? They have time. They're going to have to score just about every time they get the ball. Trailing 21-3 with $1:25 to go, third quarter. Hunt under center. Drops. Looks left side. Throws. Caught. No gain after catch, though. It's all on the catch. No run after catch. Completion to Case for about 4 yards.
Tackle made by number 25, Henry Thompson.
Case with his first catch of the game. A fat 4 yards at second and a fat 5, a short 6. Clock rolling down to the final 50 seconds of the period here. Single coverage on the wide out here near side. They'll keep it on the ground instead. Sweep left to Wesley Wooden, who maybe got back to the line of scrimmage in a yard. They're going to give him a gain of 1. It's 3rd and medium.
Ball carried by number 24, Wesley Wooden, tackle made by the Arabian.
Time for maybe one more play here in the 3rd quarter. Delta holding the ball, but staring a deficit in the face at 21-3. Can't believe that they're going to win this game without hitting at least one big chunk pass play. Garner in the slot here near side. They're going to drop and throw it this way. Incomplete. Through about 3 guys, 2 defenders and a receiver. That was St. John out here intended for him at around the 35. Stops the clock with 1 second to go. 3rd quarter. 4th down. Delta's going to have to kick it away again. At least it looks like they're going to kick it away. This would be a big place to go for it, trailing 21-3. They're going to line up and go. Brady Hunt, the ball at the Delta 28-yard line. They're going to go. They need 5 yards. Hunt drops, throws, has a man, tipped and nearly intercepted at around the 35-yard line. The slant was the route. The intended receiver just couldn't get his hands on it to bring it down. That was Gilland as they tried to hook it up. And Pendleton Heights takes the ball on downs at the Delta 28-yard line. That's the final play of the 3rd quarter. 12 more minutes to go. Drama time in Royerton. Pendleton Heights 21, Delta 3 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
We move to the 4th quarter here in Royerton. Pendleton Heights will be moving north to south now, left to right as we describe it for you. And a golden opportunity to nail the coffin lid shut as we start the 4th quarter with Pendleton Heights leading Delta 21-3. Delta couldn't get it on 4th down, and PH has it starting this drive at the Delta 28-yard line. Ankle wide here, short side. Spinks wide left across the way. High snap through the hands of Conkling. He dives on it for a big loss back to the 41. That's been coming all night long. The center has had all kinds of trouble snapping the ball high. That's a loss of 13 yards. Conkling is a tall guy at 6'4", but that snap from the center has been so high most of the night. They've been playing with fire, and they got caught that time, and it burned them. It'll be 2nd down and about 23 yards to go. Back at the Delta 41. Spinks and Pankel both wide left. Conkling waiting on the ball right in front of us. Hands to Early, sweeps left, got daylight to the 30, to the 20. He's tripped up, but he's inside the Delta red zone on a touchdown-saving tackle by Zach Garner all the way to the 16-yard line. 25-yard gain and a backbreaker. Seventh first down in the second half. 12 in the game unofficially by PH, and they've got a fresh 4 snaps at the Delta 16-yard line. Here's a handoff, sweep right to Early. Runs into 3 or 4 blue jerseys before they push him back. He got it to around the 13-yard line. Tough 3-yard gain. Pease was there, a couple teammates as well.
Early. Tackle made by the Eagles, number 34, Brady Pease.
Pease is a man-child, can really do the job at inside linebacker. Second down, 7 yards to go for the Arabians. The Delta 14-yard line. 2 wideouts here on the near side, double tight ends. Conkling will keep it, sweep it left, race for the pylon. He's going to get there untouched. Touchdown, Pendleton Heights. That just might do it. Christian Conkling, 14-yard keeper, student body left. And that makes the lead 27-3. Beautifully done. Arabians have played really well tonight. On to try the kick. Nick Taylor. Waiting on the snap. There it is. Kick on the way. Kick is good. 10 minutes, 11 seconds left in this one. It's a blowout right now. Pendleton Heights 28, Delta 3 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
In Fort Wayne, 2 sisters make a historic splash when they swim their way to a pair of individual state titles.
In Evansville, a boys and girls soccer team become state champions in the same year for the same school, claiming their place in Indiana history.
In Bloomington, 12 young men combine their talents, check their egos, and net a basketball state title.
High school sports have provided us with as many inspirational stories as there are towns in Indiana.
In Valparaiso, a gymnastics team scores a perfect season, winning a record 7th state championship for their school in the process.
A football team south of Indianapolis refuses to lose, comes from behind, and runs away with an improbable state title.
What will the story be in your community? High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure Indiana. This message made possible by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the high schools in this community.
Maverick Hamilton has it teed up for Pendleton Heights as they kick it away, leading now 28-3. It's a short end-over-end kick headed to the far sideline. It's going to roll out of bounds at the Delta 8-yard line. The third time tonight the kickoff has gone out of bounds. It's about the only thing the Arabians haven't done very well. Delta will have the ball in good field position again. My dad used to say the field's 160 feet wide. Kick it in bounds. I used to be kicking it. I'd say, yep, you're right, Dad. I'll just kick it down the middle. Easier to say than do sometimes. 5 penalties in the game, and 3 of them are on kicks out of bounds by Pendleton Heights. Delta will start at their own 35. Sorry, Dad. 10-11 to go in the game. Hunt under center. They need a bunch in a hurry. Trips wide here near side. Hunt, short drop, throws. It's caught, but taken right to the ground at the 39-yard line. Dalen Case on the catch for a 4-yard pickup, but he was plastered right away.
Number 15, Dalen Case. Tackle made by number 25, Hunter Thompson.
Make it 2nd and 6. Now time really going to be a factor for Delta. 9:45 and running here in the fourth quarter. They trail 28-3. They need a big couple of plays. They need a spark play offensively, and they're probably going to need a turnover on defense to get this done. Trailing by 25. Hunt dropping, has time, throwing a deep ball. He's got a man out here. It's Case. He caught it. Flag goes flying in. It's not going to matter unless it's offensive interference, and we've seen that once tonight already. All the way to the 34-yard line. 27-yard gain. The officials will talk about it. Terrific catch that time by Case. Backpedaling, brought it down at the PH 34. Did I say something about a big chunk play in the air? I think I did. Talking to the Pendleton captains here, that might just be an explanation. It's going to be against the Arabians. It's going to be declined. Delta's going to have the ball at the PH 34. That's the first Delta first down of the second half. Is it enough of a spark, and do you have enough time with 9:22 to go in the game? Trailing 28-3. Hunt under center. Sets him. Sends Garner in motion. Play action. Going to throw down the middle toward the end zone. It's going to be in and out of the hands of a receiver, and a flag flies in late inside the 10-yard line. Gillen was out there, double and triple covered. Not the wisest throw. But we'll see if it pays off in another defensive pass interference call. This one you would almost certainly take. It'll put you in the red zone. Referee getting an explanation about the flag, which is sitting at the 12-yard line in Arabians territory. Waiting on the signal. Sometime before Sunday would be good. We're not going anywhere. Here comes the signal. Defensive holding against Pendleton Heights. It's going to be a first down for Delta at the 24-yard line. So the Eagles have a little bit of life. They'll have 4 new snaps from the PH 24. Ball on the left hash, that's the near side. Gillen goes wide right out near the numbers across the way with 9:05 to go in the final period. Levers wide near side. Spin give. Sweep. Wooden has daylight to the 15, to the 10. Knocked out of bounds. Should be good for another Delta first down.
Tackle made by the Ravens. Number 4, Kirby Hess.
They'll mark him out of bounds around the 10, but it's good for a first down. Nice pickup by Wooden. First and 10. Sweep left again. Not much running room this time. Might be a negative yardage play as they unpile him after about 19 whistles. Wooden got the carry again. Lost yardage.
24,
unless they give him forward progress. They do give him forward progress. No gain for Wooden. Second and 10 at the Pendleton Heights 11-yard line. You got to score every time you get the ball now if you're Delta, trailing 28-3. 8.25 to go in the game. Hunt under center. Garner in motion. Toss sweep right. Grady Pease cutting to the outside. Hit at the 10. Taken down on a beautiful solo stop out there on defense. That was Kirby Hess, who made an outstanding play for the PH defense. It's a gain of 1 to the 10-yard line for Pease. 3rd and 9. Delta can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Ball on the far hash with Hunt under center again. Play action. Rolling near side. Throwing to the end zone. Wide open. Caught. Did he get in the end zone? Yes. Touchdown, Delta. 9-yard touchdown pass to Tyler Gillen. And Delta says we're not dead just yet. Gillen catches the ball for the TD to make it 28-9. Delta will kick the extra point. Not go for 2. Here comes the snap, the kick. It looks good. It is good. 7:28 left in this one. Delta fires back. Is it too little, too late? 7:28 left in the game. Pendleton Heights 28, Delta 10 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
More than 7.7 million American teenagers participate in high school sports every year, including about 152,000 here in Indiana. They're all learning essential life lessons, like the importance of hard work, time management, and self-discipline, skills that are helping them become better leaders and more active, responsible citizens. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
First.
Welcome back to the ball game. Delta has struck back. 28-10 contest now following the touchdown pass from Hunt to Gilland. Stanley's kick, the 10th point of the night. Delta trails 28-10. Still 7:28 to go in the game. Eagles are showing onside kick here on the near side. Let's see what Stanley does with it. The approach, he has more men the other way, and he kicks it the other way. Big bounce. It hit a defender. It's loose around the 48-yard line. Delta says they've got it. The officials come in. Let's see what they rule. Delta ball. The Eagles recover the onside kick at the Pendleton Heights 49. Not sure who got it, but he's a hero. Not dead yet. Eagles will start this drive at the PH 49. That was a gutsy call to kick with the off foot. Good kickers can do that, going the other way. They use their left foot, and that's what he did. Get a man in the helmet. Eagles have the ball. Hunt under center. Need another big play. Time to throw. Deep ball down here. Levers is out there. He's got it inside the 15-yard line. Hunt to Levers. 35-yard gain. First down, Delta. Great catch by Levers, who was wide open. I mean wide open. First and 10 Eagles. This one isn't over yet, guys. Ball sitting on the PH 15. You've got to score every time, though. Hunt under center. Twin wides right, one near side. Hunt dropping, looking, throwing to the corner. Man open. He's got it. Oh, he dropped it. Turning upfield to go into the end zone. Levers had a sure touchdown, and he cut upfield before he secured the ball. Another one of those plays for the Eagles. Wow. Two good things about it. It stops the clock, and it gives you a chance to redeem yourself. 6:58 to go in the game. 28-10 Pendleton Heights, but Delta, after recovering the onside kick, has it at the PH 15. Hunt under center. Dropping, looking, throwing. Caught out here for a short gain to the 10-yard line. Spencer St. John, Pankel on the defense. They'll give him the 9-yard line.
Pass complete to number 82, Spencer St. John. Tackle made by the Ravens, number 10, Eli.
6-yard gain. 3rd and 4. Ball at the 9-yard line. Delta needs the 5 to roll it over. Hunt, short drop, looks, fires on a slant. It's caught! It's a touchdown! Delta gets it in the end zone. Dalen Case hauls it in. Another 9-yard touchdown, and it's 28-16.
Eagle touchdown.
Big catch by Case. He was well covered. That was a small window for Hunt to throw it in, and he got it right where it had to be. On looking for point 17. Stanley. Ball bobbled. Hold was bad. The extra point is going to be no good. Schwer, the holder, couldn't handle the ball. It fell off the platform, and that's it. 6:25 to go in the game. 2 quick scores by the Eagles has made it interesting halfway through the 4th. It's PH 28, Delta 16 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the ball game. This was a dull game a few minutes ago. Now it's 28-16, and Delta has Uncle Mo. Momentum City. Do you onside kick again, or do you try to pin them and play defense here? It's a 2-score game now instead of a 4-score game. If your defense can get a stop here, you can kick it deep. But we'll see if they go for it again. Delta onside kicked the last time and covered it. They look like they're going to try it again. 10 men from Pendleton Heights within 10 yards of the ball. They bring it this way this time. The short hop is going to take a short hop about a yard shy out of bounds at the 49. First rule of onside kicking, get it 10 yards. I think PH just caught a break. Penalty flies, the marker on the kick out of bounds. The Arabians say, heck yeah, give us the ball at the 49. That was about one hop away from being dangerous again. So now the gamble fails, and now your defense has to get a stop. You could really use a turnover here if you're Delta. Eagles trail Pendleton Heights 28-16, still 6:25 left in the game. Ankle wide out there near side. That is single coverage and a disaster if he sees it, because that's a big-time mismatch. They're going to keep it on the ground. Straight ahead, early to the 40. That's all. Got 4 yards. Second and 6.
Number 20, Candace Early, the ball carrier for the Arabians.
Clock burns down. It's rolling. We're at 6 minutes even, halfway through the period. This is a must-stop for the Delta defense, trailing 28-16. You've got time to win it, but you got to get the ball back, and you can't let them score at all. Conkling in the pistol right in front of us, waiting on the snap at the Delta 46-yard line. 2 wideouts left. Twin tight ends. Nice defensive read. Conkling on the keeper. No room at the end. Delta snuffed it out. Great open field tackle. That was Connor Bedwell who shot the gap and took him down for a big loss back to the 44. Nicely done. 3rd and long. Ten yards to go. Arabian ball, Delta 46. Leading this game by a dozen. Just under 5 minutes to go. Conkling, rolling right, looking to throw. Fires, complete at the 30-yard line. Hankel with the catch, good for the first down. On a 14-yard pickup.
Number 10, Eli Hankel. Push out of bounds by number 4, Tyler Gillen. Delta students, the homecoming dance is now open.
2 catches, 46 yards, a touchdown in the game for Pankel. Another first down for the Arabians. They'll send Spinks wide left this time with the ball on the right hash. Arabians 28, Eagles 16, and now Delta's defense jumps again, but were they drawn? The answer to that is no. It's against the Eagles. That'll move the ball to the Delta 25. Stops the clock with 4:49 remaining. Now the clock will wind and start rolling again. Pendleton Heights trying to knock the lid down on the coffin. Leading by a dozen. Conkling scans the D. Man way across the way wide. Pankel wide here on the near side in the slot. 1 running back next to Conkling, who burns the play clock down to 3. Keeps it, cuts it upfield, down near the stick, around the 20-yard line. The official across the way is going to spot him a yard short. at the 21.
Number 12, Christian Conklin with the keeper. Tackle made by the Eagles, number 77, Brett Warner.
2nd and 2. Conkling waiting, movement on the Delta line again. This time they were not drawn. They managed to stay out of the neutral zone. Play clock down to 12. He can milk another 10 seconds if he wants to. And he should. Conkling now ready. Claps. Says, give me the ball. High snap nearly over his head again. Conkling will keep it. Has enough for the first down. Tripped up at around the Delta 12. That's a gain of 9 yards and a first down.
Tackle made by the Eagles, number 5, Zach Garner.
Garner with credit for the stop. First down Arabians at the Delta 13-yard line. 3:25 left in the game, clock moving. 28-16 contest, Arabians in front. They can burn another 2 minutes just by running the ball here 4 times. Conkling waiting for the snap from his center. There it is. He'll hand it. Sweep right. Early cuts it upfield. He's hit in the secondary. Still driving the pile. Down inside the 10 to around the 7-yard line. There's going to be a 6-yard gain for Early. He's closing in on a 100-yard night. Unofficially, 13 carries, 91 yards. 2nd and 4 at the Delta 7-yard line. They can get a first down without getting a touchdown. 2:30 left in the game. Clock is the enemy now for Delta. Conkling waiting on that snap. He's got it. He'll take it left side, cuts it inside the 5, fights his way forward to around the 1. It's a Pendleton Heights first down and 1st and goal, PH.
Conklin with the keeper. Tackle made by the Eagles, number 77, Brett Warner.
Another Arabian first down, and that one should seal the fate of Delta at the Eagles' 2-yard line. 2 men wide here near side. Conkling is probably going to keep it and go left to the pylon with 2 minutes left in the game. That's how he scored the last time in the same formation. Takes it, hands it. Early drives to the end zone. Touchdown Arabians. Early scores from 2 yards out to make it 34-16. Camden's first touchdown of the night. That'll bring on Nick Taylor, who's had another spectacular night on extra point work. Waiting on the snap. There it is. Hold down, kick on the way. The left footer is true again. 1:49 left in the game. Curtains, Delta trailing Pendleton Heights 35-16 on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Indiana are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the ball game. Pendleton Heights is going to win tonight. They've played a fantastic game. They lead 35-16 with 1:49 to go. They've just been the better team tonight. And they'll kick it away. Maverick Hamilton, the right footer kickoff man, teed up on the near hash. Levers waiting for Delta at his 10. You need a touchdown return to have any chance here. high end-over-end kick. Levers is going to bring it forward from the 10. Hits the wedge at the 15. Cuts to the outside. Daylight 20, 25. Tackled coming out of bounds by the kicker, who did his job, but a nice return by Levers, who got out of bounds at his 27-yard line. That drive by the Arabians, 49 yards for the backbreaker after Delta gambled and went for it on 4th down instead of punting. It really didn't have much of a decision to make there if they wanted to try to win the game. So 1st and 10 Eagles, their 27-yard line, final 1:44 of the game. Hunt under center. He'll drop, has time in the pocket, fires. Levers is open, but it's overthrown incomplete around the 45-yard line.
Passing complete to number 11, Cameron Levers.
2nd and 10. Unofficially 13 for 22 in the game. 168 through the air for Hunt. 2 touchdowns. Or make it 2 interceptions, rather. They were costly. 2nd and 10. Handoff straight ahead. Javon Whitfield in the game to get a little action here late. And he gets about 3. Second and 7. Final 1:15 of the game. Hunt. Sweep this way. Wooden to the short side. Cuts up field to the 35. Bumped out of bounds into the Delta bench around the 37-yard line.
Ball carried by number 24, Wesley Wooden. Pushed out of bounds by number 50.
Picked up about 7 yards, and they're going to say just enough for the first down. They'll move the chains. Stops the clock briefly at 1:03 to go in the game. Hunt sends a man in motion. The handoff comes straight ahead. Javon Whitfield breaks a couple tackles, struggles his way forward, to around the 43 for a 6-yard pickup. Good-looking young running back right there. You're going to hear his name a lot in the future.
Ball carried by number 27.
It's going to be 2nd and 4. Clock rolling, down under 40 seconds to go in the game. But Javon Whitfield, remember that name. Only a sophomore. Going to be a really good one before it's all said and done. On 2nd down, Hunt is going to keep it on the ground. Wooden sweeps it near side, hits the seam, hits the sideline, all the way to the 40, now to the 35-yard line. In Pendleton Heights territory before being bumped out of bounds. 21-yard gain. Delta will have a snap, maybe 2 more, with 20 seconds to go in the game. Hunt under center. They'll sweep it left again. Wes Wooden hits the seam. Nice hole all the way to the 30. Picked up about 6 yards. That should be the final play in this football game. Clock will roll, under 10 seconds to go, under 5, and that's going to be it. The handshake line will form. Pendleton Heights has come north and gotten a Hoosier Heritage Conference win. They knocked Delta from the league unbeatens. The final score tonight, Pendleton Heights 35, Delta 16. We'll be back with a wrap-up after this timeout on Beaver Media and the Delco Preps channel. Stay right there.
Who do I swim for? I swim on my high school team for my mom, who gets up at 5 o'clock every morning to take me to practice.
I swim for hugs from my teammates, spaghetti dinners, and my lucky neon green goggles.
I swim for Coach Murray, who pushes me to dig deep and finish strong.
More than 7.7 million American teenagers participate in high school sports every year, including about 152,000 here in Indiana. They're all learning essential life lessons, like the importance of hard work, time management and self-discipline, skills that are helping them become better leaders and more active, responsible citizens.
Most of all, I swim for myself because I learn more about who I am and who I want to be every time I dive into the pool. That's who I swim for.
This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. You'll see adversity tackled and obstacles overcome. You'll be energized by the thrill of triumph or moved to tears by a sudden crushing defeat. You'll feel a surge of adrenaline. You'll feel like you're on top of the world. You'll experience it all as you watch the Indianapolis Colts compete for another Super Bowl title.
Sure, but you can also experience it by attending a high school sporting event in your community. Your local high school sports teams and the Indianapolis Colts really do have a lot in common. They give communities a chance to come together, to cheer for the home team. They give us a chance to be part of something truly special, but only if we give them our support. Back to you, Mr. Announcer Guy.
The IHSAA and your Indianapolis Colts, bringing communities together. The Indianapolis Colts are proud sponsors of the IHSAA State Football Tournament.
Welcome back to Delta High School, a losing night on homecoming night fall 2018 for the Eagles as they drop a disappointing 35-16 decision to Pendleton Heights. A game that saw Delta rally late. They got within 28-16, but they could not get any closer. And that's all she wrote in this one tonight. In a big win for Pendleton Heights, the Arabians break a 2-game losing streak. Delta sees a 4-game winning streak snapped tonight at home. Quick recap of the scoring. Delta scored first in the game. They won the coin toss, took the ball, and went down the field and drove it pretty well. In fact, they went on a 30, 60, 65-yard drive, but it ended in a 3 instead of a 7. A 20-yard field goal by Zach Stanley. 3-0 Delta, their only lead of the night. Pendleton Heights scored 4 unanswered touchdowns off of that. 2:31 of the first. Conkling on a 2-yard run, first of several for him. Taylor's kick made it 7-3, Pendleton Heights. 11:30 of the second. A 32-yard pass from Conkling to Pankel. Taylor with the kick, 14-3 Arabians. That's how they went to the locker rooms, 14-3 PH. In the second half, 5 scores in the game. Pendleton Heights on a 10-yard run by Conkling at 5:49 of the third. Taylor with the kick, 21-3 contest. Pendleton Heights out in front. And that's how the third quarter ended at 21-3. Then in the fourth quarter, 4 scores. Pendleton Heights, 14-yard run by Conkling. Taylor's kick made it 28-3 at 10:11 of the fourth, and it looked like that was going to be it. But Delta rallied. Eagles scoring a 9-yard pass from Hunt to Gillen. Stanley's kick made it good, and at 7:28 of the fourth, 28-10. Pendleton Heights. Delta onside kicked, recovered. Went down, got another score. 6:25 to go in the game. Another 9-yard pass from Hunt, this time to Case. The kick failed when the holder couldn't get the ball down off the snap. 28-16 game. Delta onside kicked again. Couldn't get it. Kicked it out of bounds. And on a short field, Pendleton Heights went downfield and capped off a short scoring drive on a 2-yard run by Early. Taylor's kick was good, and with 1:49 to go in the contest, it was all over except for the print of the headline. Pendleton Heights 35, Delta 16, and that's where the game ended right there. So a big night for Christian Conkling. The Pendleton Heights quarterback ran for 3 scores, threw for a 4th. Pankel caught that big long touchdown pass from Conkling. He's a great player, Eli Pankel is. And Camden Early got that final touchdown on the ground to seal the fate of the Delta Eagles in this game tonight. With the victory, Pendleton Heights improves to 5-2 overall, 3-2 in the Hoosier Heritage Conference. Delta drops to 5-2 overall and 4-1 in the league standings. So, big win for PH, tough loss for Delta. We'll see if the Eagles can get the momentum back where it needs to be a week from tonight. Next week, 5th of October, it's going to be Delta hosting Greenfield Central right here. And as for Pendleton Heights, well, they'll host Yorktown down in Madison County. So that'll do it for tonight. Final score for the final time. Pendleton Heights 35, Delta 16. For all of us at Beaver Media, I'm Brian Beaver. Thanks for joining me tonight. Catch some volleyball updates from the Delaware County Tournament tomorrow morning and maybe afternoon and evening from Wapahani High School. They're down to the Final Four. It'll be Count against Yorktown in match 1 tomorrow. Wapahani against Delta in match 2. The winners play tomorrow night for the DCT Championship. Until then, I'm Brian Beaver. Thanks for being along for the ride tonight. Until next time, so long, everybody. Have a great night.